Good morning, smart starters. How are you on this Friday, August 11th? Wow. Yes, it's the weekend. You know, I really felt like I needed Friday to come around. This week had kind of a lot of peaks and valleys for me. More valleys than peaks, but that's just my energy. So how's everyone today? I'm so happy you're here. Jean, yay. Stacy, Tracy's here. Yay. I better put on my glasses. I can't read without them. I'm sorry. Eunice, good morning. How are you? Stephanie, Mike, Abdel, Carol, good morning. How's everyone? It's so good to see you all. Heidi, David, so nice. Let me do the morning shout outs to the smart starters. I love that you guys are always here. It's just the best. So today is August 11th, and it's Friday, and I'm sure everybody is really looking forward to the weekend. I know I am. I have a strange energy. I really do. It's even hard for me sometimes. A lot of my work is when I'm busy, I'm constantly going, constantly. But then when I'm a little off my schedule, it's really hard for me to motivate. So that's why, like, for me, this is important for me to do as well, not to just share it with you and hope that you get a lot out of it, but for me it also starts my day. Who else do we have? Christopher, good morning. Scott, good morning. So nice to see everybody here today. Well, we're going to play Guess Who. I think we're going to have some fun today. And Serena Buski's here. All hail Serena. Yay, Serena, I was just thinking about you. I'm so glad you joined. I know you're on the West Coast, and I know it's very early. Serena's on vacation with her family. Did you get to Disney yet? And did you have fun on the roller coasters? Veronique, good morning. And ladies and gentlemen, she entered the room. I don't know if anybody can hear that. Let me know if you could hear that. That's my mother. Phyllis McGinnis entered the room. Rihad, good morning. Calvin, good morning. So nice to see so many people here. Okay, so we're going to play Guess Who. I feel like this is easy for you guys today. Serena, your body aches from Disney. Why? What happened? Oh my God. She's out in California. Your body shouldn't ache. Did anybody hear, Jean, can you tell me if the music played when my mother entered the room? Jean Faba, fabulous, hubby. Volvox Motion, set this whole thing up, and he also has music. You did hear, good, because I can't hear it. I heard it this morning before I hooked up the whole system here, but I couldn't hear it. So that was my husband's the music that Jacob suggested. Jacob Krishner, thank you, suggested that we play for my mother when she enters the space. Pretty soon everybody will have their own theme song. Oh, you didn't hear it, Jean. Okay. Did my mother say it? My mother heard it, Jean. Okay. Anyway, let's start. Sorry, guys. We're having a family conversation here. That's crazy. Okay. I want to just say this to the artists. If you know, you didn't either, Stephanie? Okay, we're going to figure this out, okay? Let me just press it quickly, and please let me know if anybody hears this. Okay, so I don't know. I pressed it. I don't know if you heard it. All right, we'll figure it out. We'll work out the kinks, okay? Guess who? For the artists, if you know it, if you really feel you know it, just give me the first initial first so the other people on the feed can catch up. Okay, no, all right, I'll figure out the music. Thanks, Serena. So, I'm going to read some quotes from this artist. Good morning, Anna Arslan. So nice to see you here. Okay, so this artist, anybody have an idea who it may be? And this artist, I'm going to give you a little hint. Because I'm going to read the pronoun. It's a he, okay? Everyone discusses my art and pretends to understand as if it were necessary to understand when it is simply necessary to love. That's a beautiful quote. We could say that about people too, don't you think? Are we all so understandable? Tony, good morning. Okay, guys, anybody want to give it a shot here? Give it a shot. Why not? Ennio, good morning. Give it a shot on this. I wanted also, I doubt that my brother is watching, but if he were to watch this later on in the day, I want to wish my brother, Christopher McGinnis, just such a happy birthday. He and I are both August babies. My mother's on the feed. And so, first of all, happy birthday to my mother. She gave birth to him. Feels like it should be her day. And to my brother, whom I love so much and respect tremendously. He's really just an amazing person who really goes after his dreams. He's a visionary, and he can really just kind of attack a situation. And he's probably one of the funniest people you'll ever meet. So happy birthday, Chris. Okay, so I need somebody to tell me who this artist is. Serena Buschi. Who is this artist? Hi, Jason. Stephanie, give it a shot. Who is this artist? Who is this artist? And the artist says light is the most important person in the picture. Every day I discover more and more beautiful things. It's enough to drive one mad. I have such a desire to do everything. My head is bursting with love. No, my head is bursting with it. Isn't that funny that I said his head was bursting with love? It's a little Freudian slip there. We like that. Okay. I need somebody to give this a shot. Come on, guys. I thought this was going to be so easy. Come on. Give it a shot. Serena Buschi, give this a shot. Stephanie. No one? Gene can't give it a shot because he knows it. Okay, I'm going to show you another one. And then you're going to wish that you gave it a shot. Because you know you get a coffee mug. John Haber. John Haber. I thought you would have said, I thought the same thing, John, that it would be Chilled Handsome when you saw the flags, right? And while the seascape was Marsden Hartley's copy after Homer, and now you have a few more. John, but who do you think it is? Serena says Sargent. No. Peter Lentini, how are you? Peter Lentini was a neighbor of mine growing up. Mom, Peter's on the thread. And Peter, today is Chris's birthday. Isn't that funny? And you're here, and it's so nice to see you here, Peter. So nice. Was a great friend growing up, good neighbor. Just wonderful, happy memories. Okay, we're going to go through this again. Okay, and John Haber is on the thread, and I will have music also for John Haber soon. Okay, so we have this. Oh, wait, if I show you that one, you'll get it, so I don't want to do that. Then we have this. Then we have this. Then we have, this. When I take my glasses off, I don't know. I have to have my eyes checked. Serena, I thought Sergeant for the Japanese. Yeah. No. All right, I'll read you another quote. Let me read you. To see, we must forget the name of the thing we are looking at. Okay. Nobody. Hey, Joe. My sister-in-law just joined the thread. Yay. For me, let me go to the winter piece to read this one. So the artist says, for me, a landscape does not exist in its own right. Since its appearance changes at every moment, that's a big clue, guys. But the surrounding atmosphere brings it to life. The light and the air which vary continually. For me, it is only the surrounding atmosphere which gives subject its true value. No one is an artist unless he carries his picture in his head before painting it and is sure of his method and composition. Yes! Serena Buschi did it! She got it! She got it! Serena, what was it? It was the quote, right? It is Monet. It is Monet. And when I saw the earlier pieces, I was really surprised. I was really surprised to see, quote unquote, Monet becoming Monet. I didn't give attributes to any of them because if people are watching the thread or without sound or whatever and they want to play the game, because people write to me after. Good morning, Andrew. This is one of my favorites, Gare Saint-Lazare. This is one of my all-time favorite Monets. Yeah, right, Stephanie? It's really a surprise. I think it's a real surprise. Look at this one. Look at this. This is his Weeping Willows. That is 1918. Serena's super smart, Mom. She's an amazing artist. So, it's 1918, and the painting was an homage to French soldiers of World War One. It was, isn't that beautiful, Serena? That is really it's just gorgeous work. Where's John Haber? We want him to weigh in on Monet. And here we go. Let me read you a little bit about it. I know you all know Monet really well, but I'm going to read a little bit, okay? When Monet traveled to Paris to visit the Louvre, he witnessed painters copying from the old masters. Having brought his paints and other tools with him, he instead would go and sit by a window and paint what he saw. And I think that's a real, that sentence really kind of underscores everything about him, that moment, the quote, and I really recognize the Japanese lady. Yeah, Serena says it's the quote. Good morning, Kathleen. Good morning, Kristen. So nice of you to join us for our Smart Start. It's a way of starting your day with a piece of art and feeling connected to yourself, to the art, to life, to quote, hashtag cultivating culture, to getting our brains working. I have to read you this from his diary because it's just so funny. Oh, love Monet. Yeah, Mom, it's so many beautiful colors. December 2nd, 1890, he says, if I can paint these things with snow on the tops of them, if I can't paint these things, with snow on the tops of them, I'll have failed as an artist and as a man. Good morning, Tom Estes. You missed Guess Who? And now you cannot guess, but that's okay. We're so happy to have you here. Good morning on this Friday. What does a stack of wheat look like with snow on it in the morning, in the afternoon, at dusk? What does a stack of wheat look like with frost on it? What does a stack of wheat look like when the sun is not setting, but almost setting? What does a stack of wheat look like at 2:43 p.m. on a Monday, 2:43 p.m. on Tuesday, 2:43 p.m. on Wednesday, 2:43 p.m. on... You get the idea. That was his entry for December 2nd, 1890. So let's... And, with this, as I read this, and you're looking at the stacks of wheat, you start to, really see the obsession and what he's talking about. This going back and forth and looking and wanting so badly to capture it, to know what that is at every moment, And so January 1st, he says, good morning, Robert. He says, Happy New Year. January 1st, 1891, he says, Happy New Year. This is his diary. Painted 755 stacks of wheat today. Then February 18th, 1891, he says, hey, look, if there are 1,440 minutes in a day, I am going to paint 1,440 stacks of wheat. End of story. I told my wife that yesterday, and she threw a goddamn fit. She said, so if there are 86,400 seconds in a day, Claude, are you going to paint 86,400 stacks of wheat? I responded, welcome to the wheat painting project, Camille. I think that is so funny. Hi, Mark. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Good morning, David. Are you going to explain how your outfit relates to Monet? Yes, I am, Tom Estes. I thought you were going to explain it for me, though. There. Right there. That's all I need to say. So I want to read you something else about Monet to our viewers who may not necessarily, let me see where my notes are. Do I not have it? I don't have it. Okay. So basically, and I want the artists and all the viewers to weigh in on this. Monet, oh, here, I do have it. Monet started an entire movement with one painting. What's the name of this painting? Here's a second chance to try at the Guess Who for a Smart Start coffee mug. And the people who won last week, I said you were getting t-shirts, but you're getting coffee mugs, okay? Good morning, Jamie. Okay, so tell me, yeah, you can't top it, Mark. It's not going to be topped. You can change it and put your own self into it, but you won't top it. Okay, so tell me the name of this painting for the second coffee mug of the morning. Serena Busky won the first. Serena is now going to end up having a whole china cabinet of Smart Start coffee mugs. Does anybody know the name of this painting? It launched the entire movement. The name of this painting launched the entire movement. What was the movement that Monet? Now I'm going to go easy on you guys here because my husband told me that there's a delay in when I ask a question and when you write. So I'm going to say, yes, John Haber wins a coffee mug. Thank you, John. Impression Sunrise. And this is the painting that started the movement, the Impression Sunrise. Very good. All right, Serena wants a t-shirt and a mug. I'll do that. Pretty soon we'll have a whole wardrobe. Roy, good morning. Impression Sunrise starts this off. So John, maybe, because I don't know if I have printed out all my notes. Can we talk about this for a minute, John? And can you weigh in here? The notion for Monet was that he wanted to paint nature, and he wanted to paint the different times of day, the way the light affected nature, what he saw in nature. And so he would continually paint the same scene over and over again at different times of the day, and launch this whole impressionist movement, which was vast. I wanted to just, okay. So I'm going to read you another quote. It is on the strength of observation and reflection that one finds a way. So we must dig and delve unceasingly. I feel like that, quote is really, good morning, Maggie. Nice to see you here. I think that quote really speaks to life as well. It's so important, as you can see from the trajectory of this artist and all the artists, that they're delving, they're searching, they're unearthing in many ways. I feel like it's this way of getting to kind of where they're going, but it's such a continuum. I often wonder if the artists lived, where the work would go afterwards. As I was putting this little segment together yesterday, I wanted to look at artists I wanted to look at their later years and see how the work had changed in the later years from the pieces that we know that become part of kind of the thread of our lives and culture and pop culture. We know Monet from his Water Lilies. We know him from Impression Sunrise. But what happens to the work? What is the work? We know him from the wheat fields. What is the work that leads up to it, and then the work more towards the end, if the artist had changed or something? Good morning, Ron. And I find that very fascinating. The winter scene's your favorite, Joe? I love the winter scene too. Yeah, it's really beautiful. So you guys were really good. I wanted to see it. Okay, so he says light is the most important person in the picture. And I think that when you see his work, even the early work, especially you see that, Joe, right? Let me see. To me, there's not much, those two pieces going from Impression Sunrise to this piece, that light is truly the most important important part, one of the most important parts of this composition, and he stays true to that all the way through, and to nature. I wanted to read you something about his garden because he loves his garden so much, and that he wrote daily instructions to his gardener, precise designs and layouts for plantings, and invoices for his local purchases, and his collection of botany books. As Monet's wealth grew, his garden evolved. He remained its architect even after he hired 7 gardeners. You know, that's such a connection to nature, that he had his own garden and he tended to it. And, you know, he famously said that without flowers, that, I don't think that I have that exact quote, but that without flowers, he felt that he didn't have his work. Maggie, light is a subject, something to always think about. Yeah. Okay, why is it difficult? Let me ask the artists on the thread, artists and people, whoever wants to weigh in. Why is light difficult to work with? Why is it difficult to achieve? As Maggie says, that it's difficult. Let me read the exact thing. It's difficult to achieve. John, do you know? Very difficult to achieve. Good morning, Michael. Why is that? Why is the light? Is it that the light, in plein air, the outdoor light, is difficult to achieve? I mean, if we look at Caravaggio's, or light inside, or during the Renaissance, or even after the Dutch, Vermeer, the light there, the interior lights. Is it both? Is interior light and exterior light hard to achieve? What is it that the artists are looking for? Because I know when I go to, wait a second, that's my mother. That's okay, you get to leave, Mom. Have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Sorry, Phyllis is leaving the room. When I go to different places, I'm just so taken by the light. For example, as September approaches, I feel like there is such a change of light in this city and just all around, that there's something that happens as September, like the first, second week of September, the light has just changed entirely. And it's so magnificent and it's so beautiful. And so when I think about it just from my point of view, not an artist, I think about, do the artists want to capture that September light? Is for them, is obviously that's different than the July light, and that's why Monet wanted to continually paint these scenes over and over again at different times of the day, different days, same times, different seasons. And I think that kind of look at that is really beautiful. And I think his inquiry, his concept, his problem that he was working out, that light is seen all the way through, completely through his work, until his impression, sunrise and after. So, Maggie, please, everybody, please weigh in on that and let me know what you think about in your studios when you're thinking about light and you're thinking about depicting light, what that means for you and what that process is, because I'd be very interested in knowing that. So I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. It's the second weekend of August, and you know what that means in my home. We have 2 more weekends till William leaves for college. Okay. So anyway, the countdown has begun. Have a great day. Take Smart Start with you in your mind, your heart, in your visual thinking. And I really look forward to seeing you all on Monday for Van Gogh Monday. I'm not going to wrap up yet because it's that delay that Jean was talking about. The light and the refractive qualities of the snow, water, and sky. Yeah, I agree. Stephanie, I'm sorry. Serena says, in oil as well as watercolor, such different media and different approaches to light. With oil, you have to layer the light. And with watercolor, the paper must be preserved. Very interesting. So we have different techniques. That would make sense. Yeah, Ron, the haystacks. Nice, right? Okay, so Mark says, sunlight to shadows to tungsten light. People really don't understand light at all. Have a great weekend, everyone. That's so funny, Mark. I guess not, but I think that there's this, Mark, I do think that there's this concept to move out, that the artists through the ages are working on light. They're working on their notion of as we see in Monet, that what he is struggling with in order to capture light. And so I do think that there's an understanding of it. It may be limited, but it's a process. So I think that that's interesting, and all of your comments are as well. So on Monday, I found, Jean found it, that there's going to be this kind of, I don't know if it's Facebook wide or kind of video wide look at Van Gogh's sunflowers. I think it was in the Times this morning, and that there'll be all of these I guess programs about it. So I thought that we would look at the sunflowers as well, and let's see what our show says a little bit about differently than what the others online streaming shows say. Wait, Tom, the appearance of quickly shifting light on the surface of forms and the representation changing specific atmospheric conditions. I once tried to paint a Turner, and yes, the layering took ages, much harder than it looks. Yeah, I can imagine. So the appearance of quickly shifting light on the surface. Yeah, that's very interesting. And Maggie says, I always think light sits on top. But sometimes it is within, transparent. It is always a challenge, but so exciting and satisfying. Yeah, I think that's really interesting. I think I should dedicate a segment to light, and just kind of like a survey of artists working with, the interior light, the exterior light, and see what we see with that, because I do think it is fascinating. So for this Smart Start, look where we began. Look where we began here today. Look where he began. Look where Monet began. This is really beautiful, right? And then he brought us this. And it takes us to this. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. I love being here. It's so nice to have you here. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again on Monday. Continue the conversation, and have a great weekend. Okay, I'll see you all. Take care. Bye-bye.